Uh, Today's video is a tribute to Freddie Mercury. Uh, Freddie Mercury, I don't know if you all knew or not, of course, is that he came from, I think, a country called Tanzania or Tanzania, little area, kind of like an island. His parents, as well as him, were Zoroastrian, Zoroastrian, what do you call it? Zoroastrian Muslims, Zoroastrian believers in that. Well, when they were trying to do a 60-year anniversary celebration of his, if he'd still been alive, there was a big clamor in that country that they shunned it, and they said that, well, we don't support the fact that he was, a homosexual, gay, what have you. But okay, that's okay. It's our country. It's their it's their religious guidelines. There's really no harm, no foul. But here's the harm and the foul. The harm and the foul is that yours truly here, who professes to have discernment when not, and be able to see things in the spirit. And of course, this didn't happen right away. At first, I suspected it, but I wasn't sure. But I had to get myself clear to a place of clear, so I waited almost a month, it seemed, before I attacked or approached this thing with any kind of levity regarding it. And what I got very clearly was that Freddie Mercury was molested by one of the people there at the school. Of course, now, I wonder if you parents out there that take your kids to these private schools, whether or not you're just opening a door there for trouble. I mean, are you raising a son and a daughter, or are you raising a dog, a show dog? And so these kids are very vulnerable to suggestions from these people that work within those groups. And no one made any mention about any pedophiles that might have existed within the school there, and if any repercussions were given to anybody who did such things when that. But in Freddie Mercury's case, he was molested and thus, I guess became gay. Now let's not take this, what I'm saying here, and apply it to everything. Though I used to think the same myself, that all gays were gays because of molestation in their youth. When that sometimes that isn't always the case. It's just certain people just develop one way or another, and this has nothing to do with molestation. And of course, there were the old models, I think back in the 50s, 60s, that said that you had the dominant mother and the passive father, and so the child got confused and thought that he, I don't know, should become liking boys or something like that. And then again, who knows? Maybe that's true. It could be very well be true in some circumstances. As far as the whole sexual issue about whether someone's gay or not gay, when that is something that's learned. It's not necessarily something that's there that we're born with. Of course, there are those who say, "Well, I was born gay." Well, well, that's something to think about. If we were all born gay, okay, take it to its worst case scenario, or its best case scenario, as far as the gays are concerned. If we're all born gay, then how do we reproduce? Oh, that's right. We wait for the Virgin Mary to show up, and then a child will be conceived by the gods or God above or something like that. That makes sense. That's very logical. It's very normal and very commonplace. I'm being facetious here. But anyway, Freddie Mercury was molested by his teachers there. No one's bringing them to trial. I suspect that mommy and daddy over there know full well what the hell happened Daddy, of course, very quiet. The mother, of course, talked about her son and everything. Probably for the father, it's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment in both ways, because he's probably tied into the community and he has to answer these people in one form or another. And so to point the finger at them means he's basically going to cut his own throat. And then, of course, the other way is if he does nothing about it, he's still cutting his own throat in terms of his conscience, whatnot. If he has a conscience, does the country itself have a conscience? Well, that's questionable. Once you merge religion and politics into one sphere, as we've been showing historically with that, and then you have a vicious animal. But of course, the United States is very good at that. They use the religious angle. So, oh yeah, you believe the United States is a Christian nation? Hey, no problem. We'll believe that, and we'll take the Judeo-Christian programs on that, and we'll turn right around and shove it down your throat, and shove it up your ass, Christians, on that. And you'll even thank us for doing that. Jesus, the sons of mammon are wiser in their own conceit than the sons of light. Oh, that's something in the Bible. But anyway, make this long and short. Now, as far as Freddie Mercury goes, I have a lot of resolve for Freddie Mercury. I had said another tape that he was quite a genius in his music application. It's almost as if he took the classical format and mixed it in with rock, and but then there were other people who had done similar things, not to say in that way, but in other areas. Clarence Clearwater took the bluegrass type music and added a rhythm to it, making it like rock. So he had bluegrass rock, and then you have this guy that was once married to this woman actor that got a movie for the Pretty Lady. I forgot what his name is. He's got funny looking hair on that. His music is altogether class in another class. It's hard to say what he is. He's truly another great music genius that is not necessarily understood by many people in this generation. Of course, that's par for the course. The great people you don't catch when they're here. When the only thing I don't know why. I guess it takes a genius to know a genius. Just like in string quartet's music, if you understand what's going on in string quartet, really understand what's going on in string quartet, how you can get a symphonic sound out of 4 instruments. Well, people might say, oh, well, I go hear rock and roll and all that stuff, and that's and that's the same thing. No, it isn't quite the same thing, because in your rock and roll formats, or your 5/4/1 progressions, your jazz, your blues, rhythm and blues, hip hop, and country, and whatever, you have one melody, and those other instruments are playing second fiddle to that one melody, and they subordinate roles. But it's not the same thing in a string quartet. Not that every string quartet follows the rules of independence in terms of counterpoint, but it follows other types of rules that are hard to duplicate in present day modern music. So anyway, God bless Freddie Mercury, and fuck you to the Zoroastrian religious order over there in Tanzania, and fuck you to Tanzania as well for not exonerating and entreating Freddie Mercury, a victim of their system.